What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. Just got done visiting my brother and sister who came into town to visit my mother. So it was a nice little family reunion there for a bit. And when I got home, I was actually thinking about making a recorded video. Um, and one of the things I had thought about doing, I'm still going to do it. I just decided to change my mind and do a live stream instead with more straight pool and some more 9-ball ghost practice for the Texas State Open, which has begun. I believe today they're playing the Jack and Jill Scotch Doubles. This is an event that I did not sign up for. I'm only signed up for the 9-ball Open event that won't be until the following weekend. But I was thinking about making a recorded video on some tricks that I teach my APA pool players on how to improve their breaks. And the more I think about when I think about my APA teammates and the way that I teach them to help improve their game, I try to figure out ways to formulate that into like an actual YouTube video that I can share with everybody to help everybody else how to improve their game as well. These are, when you look at the recorded content that I have on my channel, where it teaches you how to be an overall better player because of banking systems, kicking systems, knowing what follow does, these are all like basic mechanics, basic skills of the game that everybody can use. But then when it comes to like an APA player, after you teach them the basic mechanics, the basic skills, it's like, well, what else can you give them that's going to make them better or help them become better? And that's what I've been doing mostly, at least here locally. So I want to at least try to do an experiment where I can see if any of the stuff that I'm teaching them would also benefit any viewers as well. Simple little tricks. These aren't like mind-blowing things, but they're also, I don't think I've seen anybody else do the content that I'm thinking about. And so I don't know whether or not if I want to consider it like a pool lesson, if it's something that can actually be done. I guess you can kind of think of it more as a drill, maybe an exercise that helps give you some sort of improvement during the game. And then figure out how many different ways I can create different videos that do the same thing, that strictly target beginning players / APA players. But yeah, so I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. I'll eventually still record the video and eventually publish it, and we'll just see how it does. But in the meantime, I'm here to play some straight pool, and I'm here to do some 9-ball ghost practice. Now, I think the last time I did this same exact stream, I think my straight pool session, I think I got somewhere in the 30s. I think that was the best that I did. And when I played against the Ghost in 9-ball, I just got my butt kicked by the Ghost in 9-ball. So I'm obviously hoping for a good straight pool session this time around. And then, of course, I'm obviously hoping that I play against the Ghost a whole lot better. We're just going to have to wait and see. Now, let's see here. You want to give at least a couple of shout outs here. So if you're not familiar, if you look over here in I think it's the upper left hand corner, if I can get there further and further, give a shout out to my sponsor, OnboardSportswear. They're the same company that makes the Mosconi Cup jerseys, and I'm not wearing mine today. I wore mine in my last live stream. But I'm looking forward to seeing the Mosconi Cup this year in Las Vegas. But if you happen to want to check out any of their apparel on onboardsportswear.com, I do have a discount code with them. You can use LilChris10 in all caps. You can actually get 10% off your purchase. In my last live stream, I did mention about how my Monday night 8-ball team is actually wanting to purchase some team jerseys and get it customized to fit our Monday APA 8-ball team, which is called 8-ball Physics. One of my teammates came up with a pretty cool logo design for the team name. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks or so we actually get the shirts, and I'll wear them. I'll show them on stream and stuff, and I think it's going to be really, really cool. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Nate Tam, who's telling me good luck at the Texas Open. I do appreciate that, bud. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he just recently published a video on breaking 9-ball on the spot, and trying to satisfy the 3-point rule. And I'm going to try to showcase what he does in that video, probably for some of the matches, but I don't think I'm going to do it for all of the matches, because I still have my particular way that I like to break. But I like the effort that he put into the video because of the experimenting that he did to figure out whether or not if the break is going to work. And through the content of the video, if you were to watch the video, it looks like it's a break that can actually work. I've already actually reproduced some of the same results that he was able to produce in his video. And then sometimes I don't reproduce the results, which I think is normal, because I'm supposed to try to practice it as often as I can to make my results be more consistent. And that is still breaking way off to the side. We're not, because in the Texas State Open, even though we're playing 9-ball on the spot, and we have the 3-point rule, we have no break box. We can still break from wherever we want. And so since he's breaking way off to the side, clearly that does not satisfy the matchroom pool requirement of breaking from the narrow box that they set for the European Open, and that they're actually going to be using for, I think, the rest of their events. I actually do think I overheard Emily Frazier say that they might use that break box during the Mosconi Cup. I thought I saw her mention that during a podcast. I don't know if I think it was on the Pool Player podcast. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's going to make things a little bit interesting. I think that's going to spice things up a bit. It should be kind of cool. But I also know that Nate Tam, as well as myself, we are also studying the Matchroom Pool break box and trying to see if there's still a way to control the break, control the cue ball, have position on the next ball, and and whatnot. And we're just amateur pool players. And so obviously, if we're able to figure this stuff out, then the pros that play 100 times better than us, then they're obviously going to figure it out as well. I think that's kind of the whole point when the Matchroom Pool decided to come up with the break box rules. When I first saw what it was, in my humble opinion, I don't think it's enough. I think from the break box, the pros will still be able to figure something out, still be able to get those cookie cutter runouts and stuff, and it's eventually going to force another change. How soon? I mean, I think that's just going to depend on the pros. And the change I foresee is basically making that break box smaller. There's going to be a point to where the break box will be so small that it will actually be difficult to control the break. But in my humble opinion, I don't think the break box is currently small enough to say that the rules are going to stay where they're at. I do believe it's still solvable, but of course, I could be wrong. I'm just giving my opinion. Now, with enough babbling, I'm assuming everybody can hear me okay. Like, could y'all tell me if you can hear the mini split? I've got it on. I've got it set relatively high because it's nice and warm in my garage in here. And do I sound like I have a bit of an echo when I'm at this microphone here? Because I know when I'm at the table, I'm going to have a bit of an echo. That's to be expected. But I just want to make sure everything sounds good. Okay, Billy Jack, you're saying I sound good, so that's awesome. And then if you could do me a favor and please give this stream a like. It helps me out in the YouTube algorithm if you are watching on YouTube, so that way more people can discover this live stream while I'm live streaming. And then, of course, it helps people discover after the fact, and they can possibly watch it after the fact. If you're on Facebook, then obviously still give the Facebook stream a like as well, or a thumbs up. But then also consider sharing this to your Facebook profile, so that way some of your friends can also discover me, if any of your friends happen to be pool players and would want to be able to follow and subscribe to my content. And then, of course, maybe consider sharing it to any of your favorite pool groups as well. I would really, really appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. What do you say? We're going to go ahead and start with some straight pool first. Still haven't broken 79, so let's see how well we can do here. Now, as I've said before, out here I should sound a little echoey. Like I said, the microphones that I have here above the camera and the microphone that I have right here at the face cam, they pick me up as best as they possibly can. But I hopefully shouldn't have to talk as loud or too loud to where y'all should still be able to hear me legibly, but you will hear a bit of an echo. I still have a bunch of soundproof panels that I need to start hanging up all over the place that'll hopefully reduce the echo as much as possible. But that's all in due time. Now, I don't think I'm going to do much commentary of straight pull. I want to try to focus. I want to try to put on at least a good straight pull performance. But when I get to the 9-ball ghost, that's when I'll probably do a little bit more commentary. I never really like when my cue ball comes up table like that. Oh, geez, that's off to a great start. Nice, simple, short stop shot on that one. All right, I'll tell you what, we're not gonna count that one. Warm up rack, but we will count this one. It's gonna be funny too because that shot that I just missed right there is a very similar shot that you're going to see in one of my APA matches, because I missed a very similar shot on a 7-foot table. Well, don't count zeros. Anybody happen to catch Jason Shaw's attempts at playing straight pull? Because I think, what did he top out at? I think I heard somewhere around in the 500s. He was not able to beat his old record, or let alone he wasn't able to hit 1,000, which I think was his goal. But still, an overall very well performance, especially when he finally hit the 500s. Come on, let's try not to scratch this time. There we go. Now we're gonna end up backup table. Gotta put some thought into this. I can break the clutter up a little bit. A shot. Rack is in a solved state. 6-ball is a little bit of an issue, but I could use the 12-ball to get positioned on it. This is most likely going to be my break ball. So I kind of like to solve this as quick as possible. Just not sure about the pecking order on this one. That's going to be a thinner cut than I would have liked. But this is just like last time. We're going to play straight bull for a bit, and then we'll switch to the 9-ball ghost. Am I going to be able to cut this? I mean, Jason Shaw was shooting break balls like this, like it was nothing. But I'm nowhere near the caliber player he is. Yeah, not even close. Not even close. Still massively undercut that one. So, and then silly enough, like my straight pull sessions lately have been really bad. I mean, really, really bad. I've been trying other things out, seeing what works, what doesn't work. Hmm. It's like simple mistakes like that. I'm trying to get position on the 3-ball, so I just want to just stun out to there. But I goof. So that's obviously a little bit better. The cue ball is on the is at an angle where I have to draw into the rack. I can't just force follow myself into the rack. Especially with as low as the 4-ball was. 4-ball was actually a little bit higher on the rack had I not bumped into it, but I needed to bump into it. That way I can keep my run to be easy. So I'm going to try to power draw into this rack. So that's in hopes that my cue ball does not get stuck, even though it leaves me some difficult shots. Difficult by meaning farther shots, shots that are farther away. So a lot of times what I'm looking for is how can I shoot some of these outlying balls to where I can run the cue ball into this little area here, but then also have another ball that I could possibly shoot at that's not in this cluster. And right now there really isn't any. So that makes this a little difficult. So for example, if I were to shoot the 5-ball, it looks like I can pull the cue ball and run into these two. That means the 11 ball is going to tie up further with the 9. The 10 might come loose or it gets tied up. I'm sorry, the 11 ties up with the 2. The 10 ball might come loose but also tie up with the 9 if I'm not careful. Got a 2-3 combination. That's pretty nice. So maybe I don't have to disturb them. Maybe I can play position for that. Obviously I can shoot the 9. Yeah, the 2-3 combination is fairly wired. This is not wired. And this 10-11 is not wired either. That's not what I wanted. This does allow me to get position on the 10. Careful here. What do I want to do? Do I want to play the 10 or do I want to go ahead and play the combo? Because that's going to kind of open everything up. Yes, the combo is a riskier shot. I clearly understand that. But it could yield a bunch of rewards if I hit it. And the 9 ball could be my backup shot as I try to draw the cue ball back off of the 11. That might be the right choice. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to call the 3 ball. So I into the clutter. This works though. This works. Kind of would love to have my one ball be a break ball, but the 7 to the 2 might end up being a break ball. Don't think. Can I? Question is going to be: is if I shoot the 11, can I precisely stop it for the 8? Nope. Look at that. And see, that forces me to shoot my 1. Unless, can I play a combo again? The 8-15 combo? I think so. Never mind. I think we can do that. Yeah. Play an 8-15 combo. Maybe try to break up the 2 a little bit. It's kind of hard to see where I have to hit with that 1 ball being in the way. So try to spot the ghost ball for the combo. From one cluster to another. It's like that's all I'm doing is just moving clusters around. I'm going to try to break the 2 and the 9 apart with this shot here. And these are my backup shots. So that's what I'm talking about. That's one of the biggest things that I'm trying to work on with improving my straight pull game, is making sure that I'm picking patterns to where when I attempt to break something up, if I don't get a shot at whatever I'm breaking up, do I have alternate options? That way I can safely attempt to do this. Because now at this point, I'm trying to figure out what kind of 9-ball pattern I want to do to run this out, get position on my 1 ball for the next breakout, which probably means this could be my key ball. Shoot the ball in, draw the cue ball back, and then back cut the 1 ball, slam right into the rack. That's what I'm thinking. Even the 10 ball could be a key ball, but with the order that I'm running right now, it's not going to be. It can't be. Bounce. Especially if I get straight in on it. Tuck on it. I'd like to get my cue ball right about here if I can. Well, overdrew the ball, but I still have my break angle. That's good. This is an angle where I can use topspin and try to force the cue ball into the rack. Okay, that's good. My priority is drawn to this. How do I start maneuvering this stuff around? What's the best way to do it? First, I'm checking to see if there are any combos, like the 8-9. And the 4 ball's in the way. There's no combos. I'm almost not sure what to do here. Because remember, I want to drive the cue ball into this at some point, as soon as possible. This is probably a huge backup shot for me, being so close to a pocket. Unless, of course, I land somewhere where I have to play a combo. I want to risk that. That's a huge risk, I think. Gee whiz. Just not sure. Risk it anyway. Yep. Wish my cue ball would have came over here just a little bit farther. That makes the 3 ball a better candidate to try to break the cluster up. Okay, 3 ball's no longer a candidate. Maybe the 12 ball. Okay, so that was a pretty safe bet. I've got this ball sitting right here. I even developed the 8 ball into a break ball. How do I want to do this? These are more of a problem than these are. I'd rather pay my attention to this. Thought I was gonna clip the 9. Not fully run into it like that because it obviously kills my cue ball. All right, so now I've just made this more difficult than it needs to be. I'm thinking I'm going to call the 9 on the side, see if the 5 ball is going to help me out. And 5 ball dropping is obviously a bonus. Slow down, cue ball. Speed up now that you passed the 10. Jeez. You're supposed to be right here, play the 10, play the 7. I'm automatically in position. Guess I can try this. Come on, slow down. Go. I can push the cue ball right into the appropriate break angle that I want. Alright, this is roughly the same shot that I had. I actually don't like the position that I'm in. Like some of these balls that were down here were probably good for me to do backups when I've got a lot of tight maneuvering that I got to do down here. Maybe I can do that. does pass the 3, or the 3 does pass the 7. This might be the right way to go about it. Ooh. I'm going to bump into the 3 now. Can't play position for it. I'm going to bump into it. That changes everything. Because if I was at least right here, because then I can freely shoot the 4 and stun out this way, position on the 3. Now I can't do that. And I'm just not entirely sure what the heck's going to happen. If I shoot this, run into the 3, 3 runs into the 6, pushes the 2 away, the 3 comes over here. The question is, am I going to have a shot at the 7 ball? Or will I even have a shot at this 13 ball? That's the question. But it doesn't deter me. Like, I think I still have to shoot this 4 ball. See, I don't get neither. But it looks like at least the 9 ball is my backup. So that's good. I didn't even consider the 9 ball being a backup. So obviously I need to have more table awareness. It looks like I can also shoot the 6, even though the 6 is a little close for comfort. The 6 does go, and I'm clearly going to run into the 2 if I do that. Yeah, I mean the 6 might be the best shot. It allows me to take out the 7, so that way the 5, I can shoot the 5. The 5 is my breakout ball, my break ball for the next rack. This might be the right choice. I just got to be concerned that the 2 ball doesn't tie up. It'd be nice if the 2 ball hits the rail and just comes out in the open. I think this is the right shot. Kind of like that. Now if I want, I can tackle the 7, which I probably should. I'm in a good position to deal with it right now. Which means I think I have to come over here for the 2 if I do that. Come on, slow down. Don't give me a back cut angle. I'd rather be straight. certainly not going to complain about that. Primarily because when was the last time I broke into the 50s on a live stream? I think this is the third time now I've broken into the 50s. I've broken into the 50s multiple times, so I've got multiple 70s. But on a live stream, I think this is only the third time I've ever done this. And I think on this one here, I'm just going to draw. I'm going to power draw into the rack again. Cool. All right. A lot of times I often wonder, what is the pecking order that I should do this in? Clearly I can play the 7 and get position on either the 11 or the 4, maybe even the 14, but then how do I proceed after that? And, this is a mess. The 9 goes, so that's good. The 13 goes, that's kind of good. 13 can help kind of open this up a little bit. But how do I get on the 9? With the 14? Maybe? 12 go over here. Okay, the 12 at least goes on the side, so maybe if I go from the 7 to one of these two, I can open up the 2 ball by moving the 12. That could be a smart choice. The 2 ball goes here, so unless I push too far forward, I might have a shot at the 2, or I might have a cut on the 11. Alright, so if I do decide to shoot the 2, do I run in the 6? Do I run into the 6 and the 1? Or should I draw in between them and come over here for the 9? Because if I run into the 6 and the 1, if I run into the 6, that brings my cue ball over here. The 14 won't be a backup ball. If I sink through the 6, I might be able to shoot the 15 ball. And in case you're wondering, I'm currently not worried about a break ball right now. This could kind of be a break ball, but I'm not even really worried about one right now. I'm still trying to solve this rack. If I do hit the 6 hits the 1 and punches the 1 out. And if I hit the 6 coming this way, will I glance out and have a shot at the 1? Maybe? That might be right. Or just clip the 6 and not touch the 1. Slow down. So there's a bit of a knowledge gap right there that I'm still working on, is exactly what the heck is going to happen when I shoot certain shots. knew I was going to hit the 6, but I obviously hit the 6 in the wrong spot since I didn't even touch the 1. Now what I'm contemplating is, do I want to shoot the 10 and bump into the 8? Or do I want to avoid bumping into the 8? Oh man, I wish that one ball would have moved a little bit more. 14 to the side is really tight. It looks like it does go. I can't shoot the 15, and I've got a really goofy combo on the 13. I guess I'm going to go for the 14 on the side. I might as well go ahead and play position for the 1 since it's right there. Trickier. 6 passes the 8. Ooh, struggling on, do I want to go for the 3 or do I want to go ahead and go for the 6? I think the right answer is the 3. I don't even know why I'm debating this. Well, I'm in position for the 6. Okay, so what does that mean? That means this has to be the break ball, as far as I'm concerned. And oh, that's tough. Now I got to get position on the 15 ball, come around, get position on the 3, and stun back that way. Right? Because I can't shoot the 15 now, and even if I could, that'd be stupid because I'm flaring the cue ball down there. So, when I come out over here, as long as I'm on this side, I can try to stun underneath the 13 ball and use it as a break ball. Stun or draw, all depending upon the angle. If I end up on the wrong side, I got to push to this rail and then come back. Ooh, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. Especially if I miss! Oh, no. All right, so that's plus 12. That's a 68. All right, 69.70. Whew. All right, I'm actually going to take a break on that one because that is a new record. That's a new record on stream. That is literally a new record on stream. Have I really only done 2 attempts, 2 recorded attempts? I know I didn't count the first one when I made the break ball and then didn't make a ball after that. I know I didn't count that one. Then I scratched, and I said I'm not gonna. I don't count scratches. So legitimate, like this would be. Is this really my 4th attempt if I counted the other 2? I didn't even realize that. Holy cow. That's cool. I don't think I forgot to record something else. Okay, hey, like I'm not gonna worry about that. That's awesome. Can't believe I didn't cut that ball enough. Yeah, I mean, if anybody saw my run where I did 79, like it's basically something like that, where it's like it's a shot that I'm not supposed to miss, right? I think this is one of the things that I absolutely love about straight pull. And I saw Shortstop on Pool is in here, and he was actually demonstrating this on his live stream to where, let's say that ball that I just missed, let's just say that was the 9 ball in a game of 9 ball. I'm not going to miss it, right? Because all I'm going to do is shoot it in because I'm not worried about the position. Of course, I might be worried about scratching, but I'm not concerned about scratching. So if the 15 ball was my final ball that I'm going to shoot at, probably 98, 90, maybe even 95 out of 100, I'm just going to make the ball. But I'm so concerned about playing from the 15 to a very specific position on the 3 ball. Right? Lots of stuff jumbling around in my head. Like, am I shaking or doing whatever, and then blah, I miss. Right? To me, that is the most interesting thing about straight pull. And it's the same thing when you think about those break shots. All the break shots that I typically do, or just break shots in general, break shots in pull or in straight pull in general. Because if the rack is not there and you just wanted to shoot the break ball, what are you going to do? More times than not, you're just going to make the ball, no problem whatsoever, right? And you won't worry about scratching. You won't really worry about missing, like nothing. You'll just shoot the darn ball in, like it's nothing. But then you say, well, wait a minute, I have to shoot this ball in and drive enough energy into the rack to open the rack up so I can continue a high run. That changes the shot entirely from what you're comfortable with. And so, man, I think to me, like that's the best thing that I like about straight pool. Because now I think Shortstop on Pool said it best. You're shooting shots that you don't normally shoot, or you're shooting shots that you've never shot before. Like that's a thing. Oh man, I didn't realize that was only my 2nd attempt, and I got that far. Whew. Oh, I can do this. Mr. Greener Cat, you're saying you just tuned in and congrats on getting another high run. I really do appreciate that. It's not my best, right? My best is 79, so I'm 11 balls shy of my best. But is this the first time I've broken into the 60s on a high run? I think it is. And then, of course, if I would have made the ball and gotten position on the 3 ball, I think I would have been fine. Trying to think what else I could have done besides not miss. I don't think there was. I think I was playing the shot correctly. I feel like I was playing the shot correctly. Mega Indy, I think I'm gonna do maybe just a couple of more straight. This was only my second recorded attempt here. Like, let me do this because when I first started, I made the break ball and then just didn't make anything. Like my very first attempt, and normally I would record a one. Normally I would, but I was like, I'm not gonna count that. It's like it's the first rack, whatever. And then on the second attempt, I made my break ball and then scratched. And so I typically don't count zeros. And then, so I'm guessing that my first actual attempt that I recorded, which would literally be the third attempt, I scored the 14. And then I just ended here with the 68. But I'm gonna do a couple more of straight pull attempts. Maybe just a few. I didn't even realize I've already been streaming for an hour. Maybe I'll just do a few more attempts, and then after that I'll go ahead and switch the 9 ball. All right. Well, let's quit blabbing. Let's just go ahead and get to it, huh? Whee! Where you going, cue ball? Seriously? All right. Oh, that combo is so juicy. And it'll just open up that 4-ball clutter if I decide to take it. I don't really like the angle of it at max. My cue ball goes that way, but if I was right here, like clear as day. I don't like the angle that I have on the 9 to get in that position. And 2-ball does not go. We look for other alternatives. That's always the weirdest thing to me. Like, I thought I hit that so soft that I'd be landing right here. Like, how many times have y'all experienced that? You feel like you hit a shot so soft that the ball should not be rolling as far as it does, but clearly you didn't hit it as soft as you thought you did. Right back where I started. Literally right back where I started. Yuck. Way overcut that ball. That's a 10. Oops. Whoops. I probably deserved that if I didn't pay close enough attention to know where that 4 ball was going. So I probably deserved that. I really didn't get the greatest of leaves either. Try to play the 3 ball. Thanks. I didn't even think that miss was possible. Four ball is frozen to this seven ball, so it's gonna slide off of it no matter what, right? I don't think I can hit the four without the seven moving. So I think that gives me the opportunity to make sure that the seven moves away from the 15, doesn't it? Or would it just go? Ah! Yeah, so it would just go. Sheesh. Needed a tad bit more spin on that one if I wanted to break the seven apart. $15 ball. I think I had it right on track. Just missed. I was afraid. I was actually just afraid just to hit it too hard. And that was a tough one. Yuck. So that would probably tell me that earlier in the rack, when I went for a secondary break, I probably did it too soon because I created that clutter that was over there. Right, this doesn't look bad. This doesn't look bad. Crap. Not slow rolling this, that's for sure. That's one that I struggle with. I don't know whether or not I should go straight up the table and try to come back out, or two rail out the way that I did, because now I'm flat, and there's not really going to be much I can do here. But if I hit it too hard, then I end up with a really thin, back cut shot that I really don't want to take on. So sometimes I struggle with deciding what I'm supposed to do on that one. Couldn't help but notice always botch the third break and never get past 39 famous YouTuber. I guess she should have been here when you can see that the current best is currently 68. So your use of always is massively incorrect. Let's see here. There's not much I can do with this one here. I'm just going to try this. Stop. These are all nice and tight. I'll call the 13 ball in the corner. Barely missed it. I'll have to watch the replay to see where the 3 was. Oh, famous YouTuber, you're talking about yourself? Then my apologies. Now, shortstop on pool, you're saying you would have shot the 6. Oh, you would have shot the 6 earlier. I'll have to look back at the replay and see how that looks then. Because ideally, I was supposed to get flatter on the 6 when I think when I shot the 5 in the side. When I was setting up for the 6. I was supposed to get a lot flatter on the 6 instead of the angle that I got. What attempt am I on? So I think I'm probably just going to go to 10 attempts. I'm on attempt 5, right? Or no, I've done 5 attempts. I might do 10 before I switch to the Ghost. Nice problem spot up there. What am I gonna do about it? Actually, probably try to solve it here. here soon. Never mind. I'm not solving it here soon. Now this one I'm going to record. One. Gotta love it. Good Lord. I wonder if that should be the break ball, the way this layout looks. Okay, everything's kind of solved now. So yeah, I think the 13 ball is supposed to be my break ball. I might be able to develop the 11. Shoot the 7, then shoot the 4, get about here. Yeah, I might be able to develop the 11. Let's see if I can do that. If I don't develop the 11, then the 13 ball is going to be it. The 11's kind of far out, but it does serve the purpose. I can get like right here. So now I really need to decide, do I want to use the 11 or do I want to use the 13? I don't know, at this rate, I think the 13 is the better ball. Still thinking about it. But yeah, I think the 13's the right one. I was kind of hoping to get on the other side, because I can tell it was more on this side of the rack. On this side of the rack. Let's see what I got first, because it looks like I have to cut the ball, so I might have a little bit of momentum that I can spin into the rack somewhere. This is less than ideal. Yeah. This is less than ideal, but let's see what I can do with it. Oh, missed the whole rack. That's what I can do with it. Alright, we're gonna call the 8-ball again. We're gonna try this again. 8-ball, corner pocket. Still missed it. And scratched. Go. So, man, clearly that means I had too much spin on the ball. The spin that I was hoping for was going to make me hit the corner of the rack. That's at least what I was betting on. Earlier, when I thought about using the 11 ball, it would look something like this. Oh, try it again without missing the ball. There we go. That's what I would have attempted if I could have used that ball, which I probably could have, but I just put more thought into it. Now we're back to square one, trying to figure out what to do with this. There's no obvious combo sitting in there. And how would I get there as soon as possible? Shoot the 10 and cut the 7, maybe? I'd really like the 10 ball to be a backup ball. Think about it. Right now I don't really see anything else. Oh, let me get the 4 out. Turn the 4 into a nice break ball, though. did do that. Now do I use the 15 or the 9 to break the rest of this open? 9 would go on the side and drive the cue ball this way. Right way to go about it, or should I use the 15 to do it? Maybe I should use the 15. Slow down, cue ball. Gee whiz! Can't use the 15 now. I think I'm gonna miss the whole thing. Cut's too thin. There we go. All right. Oh, I did not think I was getting that type of position. Crap. Right here is where I'm supposed to be. I think I can, well. It's like the 50-yard line here. Overcut the ball, and then there's the break position. That's a 13. All right, 2 more attempts. Then we're gonna switch to the 9-ball ghost. I don't know if the 7. I'm gonna try to disturb that 5 ball, so I honestly don't know if the 7 ball is even gonna fall. There we go. I'll deal with that later. The 5 ball was in a very hard spot. That's why I at least wanted to move it. Whoops. That's my only option. Get all the way up there, so that way I'm at least on the other side of the shot line. This fly ball being so close to the rack. Whew. Best thing I can hope for. One ball. Crap. Ah! If I wouldn't have touched the 9 ball, the 7 ball wasn't going to do me any good. If I would have made the 7 ball. +3. All right, one more. Take a small break, and then we'll do some 9 ball ghost. Oh well. 2, 4, 6, 7, that's an 8. Okay. So, as you can see, this is what an average is supposed to do when you've got that great outlier of a 68, but then the rest of the performance starts to pan itself out. Now, considering that I only did 10 attempts, what would my average continuously start to go down, or would I actually eventually put up a good another good run and start pushing my average back up? I mean, that's yet to be seen. We're not entirely sure, but this is going to be a mixture of a stream. So all I'm going to do is just take a small break here. So once again, famous YouTuber, I will say an apology. When I read your comment, I clearly thought you were talking about me, so I do apologize. It's always very easy to take text messages out of context. Let's see here. I like this comment. Ken Clifford, you're saying, whenever I get to feeling good about my pool game, I practice 14.1 to get my ego in check. That's a pretty accurate statement. That's a very accurate statement. I mean, like I would think breaking and running 9-ball racks and breaking and running 8-ball racks, even breaking and running in 10-ball racks, yes, they are difficult. But I would tend to think that they are slightly easier than breaking and running straight pull racks. I mean, that is at least my opinion on that. Okay, so when we look at the stats, though, we can see that I made a total of 10 attempts. And I kind of split it right down the middle, right? 5 times I could not get out of the first rack, and 5 times that I could, where 4 times I got to the second rack, and then 1 time I got all the way to the 5th rack, and I could have actually gotten to the 6th rack had I not blown that shot on the 15 ball. And actually, didn't someone predict that I was going to get 5 racks today? Yeah, Chip Sounder. Earlier in the stream, he predicted that I was going to get to the 5th rack, and you were correct. I did it. I got to the 5th rack. It's not very often that I can actually put up a good number like I did there. So I'm always happy that at least on a live stream, if I manage to put up like a 50 plus or something like that, that's always fun. But now, when I play the 9-ball Ghost, I hope that I can give the 9-ball Ghost more competition than I did last time. That's going to be the fun part. Now, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And does anybody have any questions before I actually begin the 9-ball Ghost? All right, so here's a standard question I typically get asked. Is it any Topuli? I hope I said that correctly. You're wondering what size is my table and what are my pocket size. So this is an 8-foot Pro-Am table with Pro-Cut pockets. When you say a Pro-Am table, it's basically a table that has a ball return. I don't have drop pockets. And Pro-Cut pockets are 4.5 inches on the corners and 5 inches on the side. I've said this numerous times that I'm supposed to get my table refelted. I already have the felt. It's underneath the table. I've had it for quite some time. But I never have gotten my table refelted, and when I do get my table refelted, I wanted to get my pockets shimmed to where my corners would be 4 1/4, and then my side pockets would be 4 3/4. But that is yet to happen. That is yet to happen. Corner 4 Billiards, my fellow Texan in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, wants to know that when we get together, can he get the 7 out? Let's get together first, and then we'll figure that out. Right? I know eventually I either need to make a trip up there, or like you said, if you're going to make a trip down here, one or the other. One or the other. Because I know I didn't see him in the chat here though, but I know Rogers Randoms, that's his YouTube channel. He's been up to the Dallas Fort Worth area, and y'all two got to hook up. I got to see some pictures and stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. So, but yeah, like there's definitely got to be some time where we can actually get together. Either shoot some content or just hang out. I think that would be fun. Meeting other YouTubers is fun. This is nice. Famous YouTuber, you have a Texas-made presidential 8-foot table with the same dimensions. It's fun. I also like that you have a picture of Richard Pryor as as your profile picture. May he rest in peace. Very famous comedian. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I think I have decided though that I'm not going to record any of my matches this year. I think I want to strictly try to focus on the matches and not really focus on that there's a camera running. If I do happen to end up on the stream table, I know who the streamer is. Actually, he's a decent pool buddy of mine. If I'm lucky enough to end up on the stream table, then I might try to request a copy of the stream. I can't promise that I'll get a hold of one, and of course I can't promise that I'll be on the stream table. It's pretty much a big if. But I can at least certainly tell the stories of what happened, and then if there's something great and amazing that I can remember, I can maybe try to do like a recreation of what happened. I think that'll be fun. I do have a buddy of mine that's coming into town to stay with me. I think he's coming from the Missouri area. And it's my very first roommate back when he actually worked here in the Central Texas area before he moved out. So I told him, I have a spare bedroom for you to stay in, and we'll be driving to the Texas Open together. But then I'm going to try to talk him into doing a live stream with me to where we can actually play. Heads up, the Texas Open format, but it'll obviously be on my 8-foot table instead of a 9-foot table. This is a nice question. I actually like this. It says, famous YouTuber says, you know that when I'm recording for us, but do I find if music helps me in my gameplay? So whenever I'm in here practicing by myself, it's quiet. There's no music, nothing. I don't have ear pods in, nothing. I actually quite enjoy playing with absolute silence here in my garage. Instead, obviously when I'm at a pool hall or something, and there's music in the background and stuff, I can start having a good time, especially if a good song comes on. If I start singing along with the song or kind of just grooving around the table. So clearly that's a thing. But when I'm in here practicing, it's absolute silence in here, and I actually do kind of prefer that over everything. Thomas Mabbott, you're asking if it's going to be Lonnie Mitchell, who is the owner of the Backwards Billiards channel. He is not, as far as I know, he is not the one covering the Texas Open. It's always Pool Action TV, which is run by Ray Hansen. Oh, this is a good question. Jeremy Montemeyer, you're asking me if I specifically set a time for pool because it's hard to practice daily. Do I dedicate a certain amount of hours a week for practice? I practice every day. I think there might be some rarities where I might not actually come into my garage and hit some balls around. But generally speaking, because I also have the privilege of working from home as a software developer, whenever I decide to take a break from work, I'll come in here and hit some balls around for 15, 30 minutes or something before I go back to work. And then when I take my lunch break from work, I'll eat lunch and come in here and hit some more balls around. Collectively speaking, if I were to attempt to add up all the time that I spend on my table on a daily basis, it probably equates to about 2 to 3 hours, with the exception of when I do a live stream. Because obviously with me live streaming right now, I've been live streaming for 2 hours, but I haven't been playing for 2 hours. There's a small segment where I'm just talking to the camera, and then there's the hours or so that I might be playing. So having a table, having your own table is clearly a convenience to be able to practice. But I did find that when I first got my table, I hardly ever used it. As I was building my studio here, I never really started using my pool table as much as I do now until I finally started making YouTube videos, and now I pretty much use my table every day. Okay. Well, I don't want to stream too terribly long tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and switch to. We're gonna switch to this, and I'm gonna turn my face cam off. So we're gonna go ahead and start doing some 9-ball ghost. Right here. Why did I haven't started? We're gonna go ahead and do some 9-ball ghost. I'll go ahead and say this again because I have posted about this on my Facebook page. But then I guess I need to go ahead and make a YouTube post to go along with it. As you can see here, this is the scenery that I used to play the 9-ball ghost. And the last time I played the 9-ball ghost, I tracked the games by using the traditional coin counters, by moving the coins along the diamonds. And I had made an invitation to my viewers to where if they wanted to draw me some sort of scenery, kind of like what this looks like. Nope, not this one. There's my side view. But kind of like what this one looks like. Right? You know, because I've got the red border, I've got the scoreboard. You know, the whole entire scenery is not just of the pool table. There's a little bit of color, a little bit of decoration to go along with it. So if someone wants to attempt to come up with something very similar like this, you can use different colors. I mean, I'm not really going to care. I mean, I don't even care if you give me something pink. I mean, if it's something that's made by a fan and I like it, then I'm going to feature it on my live streams, so that when I'm playing the ghost, when I'm playing the 9-ball ghost, instead of just looking at this, you're looking at some sort of scenery that you can come up with. So, you know, whether or not you want to, basically, if you can just create me what's referred to as an overlay. You know, I mean, if anybody's familiar with Twitch.tv, which is the streaming platform that a lot of gamers like to play on, if you go check out some of the layouts that the gamers like to play, that's kind of where I got the inspiration to create what I created for the straight pool layout. And even when I do my APA league reviews, it's basically just because of what I see on Twitch.tv. So something that just makes it a little bit more appealing to the eyes to look at as scenery rather than just looking at a recording that's coming from a camera. So, you know, if viewers were to send me pictures of, you know, the overlay that they think I would be interested in trying to use, then of course I can try to incorporate it here in my live streams. Let's see. So before I get started, though, there is this question here. It says, Thomas Mabbott wants to know, do I have any side hobbies when I'm not playing pool and coding, because I'm a software developer? He says for himself, he likes playing cards as a side hobby, such as Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play Magic the Gathering. I still have a lot of my Magic the Gathering cards. They're just locked up in a closet. But I'm into all that kind of stuff. I just, you know, as a career adult now, where, you know, I have my 9 to 5 that I have to do, and then I have a YouTube channel that I have to manage and maintain. Or I don't have to manage and maintain it, but I try to manage and maintain it. And then I have 4 league teams. 3 of them are APA, and 1 of them is BCA that I coach every player on there. It's just that I don't really have a whole lot of free time anymore to do other types of hobbies. You know, I like to bowl. I'm not the greatest bowler in the world, but, you know, I'll basically say that I'm happy if I can score 100 points in a bowling game. You know, but any kind of recreational type of sport. I like to play ping pong. I used to be a decent dart player. I was part of, or soft tip dart player, not steel tip dart player. So I mean, you know, just your typical recreational kind of stuff that I like to do. All right, now before another question comes in, let's go ahead and get started. I don't know if Nate Tam is still in the chat, But I'm going to go ahead and try to feature his breaking style that he had on his YouTube video. So I'll describe how it works, because I'm able to reproduce the same results. Not all the time, but some of the times. Oh, before I forget, so the rules that I'm playing by is that this is the 9-ball ghost, and I have the Texas State Open. We're playing where we rack the 9 on the spot, and we have the 3-point rule, which means after the break there has to be a combination of 3 balls that either are pocketed and or touch the head string. So if I break dry, then I need at least 3 object balls to touch the head string or cross the head string or whatever, just end up at the breaking end of the table. If I at least make a ball on the break, then only 2 balls have to touch the head string, and if I make 2 balls on the break, 1 ball has to touch the head string, etc., etc. If in a live match, if you don't satisfy the 3-point rule, even if you make a ball, you quote unquote lose your turn. Your opponent will have the option to be able to come to the table, and they can either take the table as is without a push-out option, or they can give it back to the breaker. So say for example I broke and I didn't satisfy the 3-point rule, but there's no clear shot on the 1 ball. All right, so let's say I made a ball on the break, but I also did not satisfy the 3-point rule. Then my opponent more than likely will want to give the table back to me, to where if I'm feeling ballsy enough, I might go ahead and try to do a jump shot and go ahead and try to shoot the 1 in. Or at least when the table is given back to me, I have the option to push out. But if the opponent wants to take the table from me for not satisfying the 3-point rule, they will not have the option to do a push out. Now, at least here for the ghost, if you're not familiar with playing the ghost, you get 1 chance to break and run the table. And after the break, you do have an option to take ball in hand if you want to. Usually pro players or high-level players, they will try to just do normal break and runs and not take ball in hand, because that would basically simulate a match. So I'm pretty much going to do the same thing, where I may or may not take ball in hand. It all depends on what type of shot I'll have on the table. But and then of course during the run out, if I miss, then I've lost the rack. So that will allow the ghost to win. And then during my last live stream, if I don't satisfy the 3-point rule, the ghost automatically wins. So those are at least the conditions that I'm going to be playing under. If I scratch on the break and I at least satisfy the 3-point rule, I just automatically start with ball in hand, because scratching on the break is not relevant in a ghost format. Scratching in a real match obviously is relevant, because that just means your opponent gets ball in hand, but not here in a ghost format. Get my rack. Okay. Now, if everybody, or if anybody, I should say, is not familiar with what birthed the 9 on the spot, racking the 9 on the spot, well, when template racks started coming out, be it a Magic rack or the Accu rack that I'm using here, when they came on board and started giving pool players the perfect rack, when you rack the 1 on the spot, you have a 99% chance that you're going to make the wing ball from whatever side that you're breaking from into their respective corner pockets. And it got to a point to where even me as an amateur pool player, when I play with the 1 on the spot, I have a high percent chance of predicting where all 9 balls will end up with the way that I like to break, and I can even satisfy the 3-point rule with the 1 on the spot. So when they moved the whole entire rack up, it kind of changes things a bit. So now the wing ball is no longer guaranteed to go into the corner, but you can still kind of guide it towards the corner and be able to make it go in. And that's exactly what Nate was able to figure out. Now, anybody that follows Matchroom knows that you're supposed to break from here, like this is where the old break box used to be, where it used to be lined up with the diamonds. This diamond here, go up to the second diamonds and then come in. That was the break box. Well, Matchroom moved the break box to about right here, so where the box is so much smaller. So, but when I play in the Texas State Open, there's no break box. So what Nate Tam was doing was he was moving his cue ball all the way to about right here, to where it's like, I don't know, this almost looks like just a little bit shy, or a quarter of a ball away from the rail. And what he would do is he would bridge high. So he's not doing a flat break like this. He would bridge high to where he's kind of doing the pop break that you would do in 10-ball or 8-ball when you bridge high like this. He strikes down the center of the cue ball, and since he's as far left as he can be over here with still the ability to control the cue ball, it still allows the wing ball to go sometimes, just not all of the time. Because when players would still break from here, from the standard breaking position, they would cut the one ball. So that way, when you watch the chain reaction of these balls here, knock that 8-ball loose, and then the 4-ball would carom off of the 8 and go into the corner. But as you get closer and closer to the rail, you're getting the ability to not have to cut the one ball as much, and you can still kind of get the same results. Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but it looks like the 4-ball was going over there. And it got kicked away. So let me try it again. I haven't started my race yet. I'm just kind of illustrating the break that Nate was doing on his video. You also notice that I'm not really breaking all that hard either. I mean, I can, but I don't have to. There's the wing ball. And I have a shot at the 1. So like I have a pretty good possibility that I might be able to run this out. That's his break. Now you saw the wing ball didn't go straight in. It got kicked in, but it still goes off in the general direction. And sometimes it'll just go straight in. So if I were to practice this enough, I might be able to repeat that over and over again. The only thing I know is that because I'm doing like this elevated break, I'm leaving a lot more burn marks on my table over here. Let's see if I can get the same result. Nope, not exactly. And this time I didn't even satisfy the 3-point rule. Alright, so it still requires a little bit of fine-tuning on my part. I gotta make sure that I know exactly what that sweet spot is that I have to hit in order to be able to still guide that wing ball in. Now, what I'm more than likely going to be using to satisfy the 3-point rule is breaking from the box. Not the Matchroom pool box, but breaking from the box. Because what I do here is a half ball hit on the 1 ball. I still have the possibility of making the wing ball. The 4 ball will go over there, but what I also have a tendency to see is that the 3 ball banks off the side rail and comes towards this side pocket. So I have 2 target balls that I'm really trying to make. Anything else after that's kind of pluck, while I'm still trying to play position for the 1 ball. Look at the 3 ball. Well, the 3 ball got kicked. And I did at least satisfy the 3-point rule. Let's go ahead and get this match started. So it looks like the hardest thing I have to do on the table is go from the 5 to the 6, even from the 4 to the 5. I'm not going to take the ball in hand. greatest of shots. Ah, come on, 4-ball. That was a decent recovery. What in the world would I would have done? That's one for the ghost. I was just curious, what could I have done here? That's not going to be it because I'm going to scratch. And yes, I'm using the same rack pattern. That's how I study my breaks. So let's try to watch that 3-ball again and see if it tries to bank on the cross side while I try to get position on the 1. Nope, it got kicked again. But I did at least satisfy the 3-point rule. Definitely satisfy the 3-point rule here. That's obviously going to be a little tricky. This area right here. Looks like I have to do a 2-8 combination. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that 5-ball just yet. I have to play a 5-7 combination? Yeah, maybe. That might be the right play. Just did the same shot as before. There we go. So that would be the equivalent of my opponent breaking dry, and then I get to come to the table and steal the rack. Oh, and before I forget, this is a race to 9. That's what the Texas Open is. See the 3-ball? It goes right to shot it with one, so I will take ball in hand on this one. And then when I look at the two ball, it's like, geez, what do I do with the two ball? Two ball can go here into the side. And it looks like it also goes over here in the side. Here's the four ball. Since the 4 and the 9 are so close, I will go ahead and move this. So how do I play position to the 2? That's a tough one. Not sure. That's not bad. Don't you do it. Wow. Are you kidding me? All I had to do was stop right here. So that way I can have a shot. Instead I get hooked. Alright. I don't think I can kick this in. I think the 9 ball is going to be in my way, but we're going to measure it out first. Well, maybe the 9 ball's not in my way. Let's see if I can kick the 4 in. I can at least hit the 4. Would I end up safe? Not really. That was an unlucky lead after getting practically perfect position on the 2 ball. And I played it right. I mean, that's trying to stun it out into the open to get position on the 4 was the right play. Just hit it just a tad bit too hard. Just a tad bit too hard. Now, if you're new to the stream, you're enjoying me watching me struggle, play pool, please give this stream a thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Get the 3 ball again. That's kind of what I'm betting on. So now what I'm also trying to figure out is, you can see the 1 ball keeps heading over here. So if I can find the perfect kind of power that still drops that 3 ball and the 1 ball's like right here, then I've got the 9 on the spot kind of solved. And I'm going to do basically the same type of experimenting with the matchroom break box. Gosh darn it. See the 4? I can. Okay. I can at least see it. Oh, and I overcut the ball. So what I don't want to do in this ghost-like format is break softly. I mean, like, even if I satisfy the 3-point rule, like I can try to break in such a way to where I just satisfy the 3-point rule and continuously take ball in hand and try to just destroy the ghost. I am trying to break and play as close as I possibly can, like it was a real match. So like here, I'm not going to take ball in hand. I made some balls. I satisfied the three-point rule. I want to know, can I legitimately break and run this rack? Maybe I should have moved the mat or the AccuRack. Let's see here. In case you're wondering what I just did there, I have a video on my YouTube channel called The First Banking System I Ever Learned. That's how I was able to make that 6-ball. I hit it hard enough. Yeah, you can see it just keeps on going. That's where it would have ended up. I didn't hit it hard enough. The question is do I try to do the same banking system or do I try to cut it? Actually, I have another banking system that I probably wouldn't mind making a video on. I actually learned this from one of my league buddies. Almost. Almost. Oh, the ghost is going to kill me tonight again. And this is typically how I like to train as well. Like when I'm in here practicing certain things. Alright, at least satisfied the 3-point rule. Is that 7 going to go in? No, not quite. Ah, I should have had that one. Should have had that one. Kept slightly under hitting. When I drew back from the 6 to the 8, that was a bit of an under hit. I still made the 8, but then when I went from the 8 to the 9, that was a bit of an under hit as well. But I still should have been able to make the 9 ball. Okay. 4 ball's gonna be fun. Especially if I have to bridge over the 8. Well, this is not what I was trying to do. Jeez. Let's see here. So clearly in a real game, I'd play safe, right? I'd probably just like bank the 4 this way and tuck the cue ball right here. But against the ghost, I can't do that. I have to try to make it. Which is usually a good thing to happen because, I mean, sometimes you can't just always play defensively. Sometimes you have to just go for a shot. So when you're practicing in a format like this where you always have to go for things, next thing you know, when a hard shot comes up in a real match, you have a little bit more confidence that you can shoot it successfully because you've been practice shooting it in. That's one of the huge benefits of playing the ghost. Oh, how am I gonna make the 4 and then miss the 5, let alone scratch? Ah. Whoops. Hit that 1 ball a little too squarely. See how much spin I put on the cue ball. But that satisfied the 3-point rule. I do not want to shoot a 2-8 combination, though it looks like I might have to, because then I'm going to have to play position for the 2 ball over there, based on the way the combo would work. I don't think I want to put in the extra effort to get the cue ball back over here to shoot the 2 down here and play position for the 3. Alright, so I know the 2 ball is going to set up over there, so that's what I have to try to play position on. Unless I double kiss the 8 in. Never mind. scratches don't matter in a ghost format. I still satisfied the 3-point rule, so that's a good thing. And it looked like actually the 3-ball was going to go in, but the 3-ball knocks the cue ball in instead. Kidding me? Look at that. Wait. Oh, I thought I got lucky. Alright, the ghost is on the hill. I actually need to use the bathroom, but I'm trying to not let that distract me from my gameplay. I'm going to win one more rack. At least one more rack. And hopefully I do a better set. Let's try this without ball in hand. Waiting for it to fall. Oh, jeez. All right, so the ghost destroyed me on that one, 9-1. All right, give me a minute and I will be right back. Okay, so what did we think of that? I mean, I got my butt kicked on that one. Let's see here. Looking at some of the chats. Oh, okay. So DH, are you talking about this stuff here? This stuff that I have on the ceilings? I can't tell if you see the panelings that I have on the garage door wall, the paneling that I have here, and all these panelings that I have right here. I have the equipment. It's just been a work in progress for me to try to reduce as much of an echo as I possibly can in here. You can ask everybody else that's been following me long enough to know how bad of an echo there actually used to be in here and how much better things have gotten. So it's only a matter of time before I can get it to be in a very nice, very nice tone. It'll be just a matter of time. Because otherwise, if I really want to, I can just go back to wearing this. This is my headset microphone, and there would be no issues with audio if I wore my headset microphone. The only issue is that I'd be restricted to a 5-hour battery life. But I'm trying to get my area in a position where I can just come in here and play. I can record. I can talk, and everything's just normal, and it would all work out just the way it is. And I'm getting close to it. I just don't want to bombard my walls with soundproof paneling. I mean, I've got stuff on my walls. You can see my pictures. I've got the rubber mats that are on the floor. I've got a desk over here. I've got a workbench right here. Like, I've got stuff in here that's supposed to help block the echoes from bouncing all over the walls. I just need to figure out how much more stuff do I need to block. And that's just been a work in progress. Okay, let's see. I've almost been streaming for 3 hours, so I'm probably gonna make maybe 1 or 2 more attempts against the ghost here, so that way I can go get some dinner. But this time, I will go ahead and try to make sure that I take ball in hand on every rack. Let's see if I can do a little bit better. Since I'll be taking ball in hand on every rack, I'll try to use like a quasi random rack pattern. The only difference is I will still always put the 2 ball in the back. Now the 1, 9, and the 2 will go down the middle. And I'll try to quasi randomize the other 6. All right, here we go. Let's try to do better than last time. Okay, 3-point rule is satisfied. not going to get blocked by the 9-ball if I decide to reel this. Come on, slow down, cue ball. It's definitely one of those things where, like, the less I talk, the more focused I can try to be. But then that kind of makes a live stream kind of dry, in my opinion. Like, I want to be able to talk to y'all as much as I can, even while I'm shooting, so that way you have an idea of what I'm thinking about or what I'm trying to do. But then I've been doing this for a while, and I still try not to use it as an excuse to, like, I should be able to talk and play at the same time. But it does have an effect on my focus. This is ultimately the break that I've been looking for. Like, if I can reproduce this with better cue ball placement, like, yeah. Because I think where every ball went is repeatable. And that's what allows a rack to be solved. The way all the balls exited the rack and where they all went and stuff, I think it's highly repeatable. Slow down, ball. What the heck? Whoa, I even grazed the floor and it still went in. Woo! I think that was a little lucky. Extension. You can imagine that if I'm playing on a 9-foot table, I'm going to need this thing more and more sometimes. Already better than last time, now that I got two. Already better than last time. See, so regardless of what wrap pattern I use, I can still get the balls to travel the same track lines that they did as that last break. It's just going to be a different run-out formation. Oh, six ball, what are you doing to me? Really? Huh. What do I do? What do I do? Not that. Oh, jeez. All right. Surprise. Wow. Did I really do that? I drew all the way through and didn't touch this? That's cool. I thought for sure I was going to hit one of these. Alright, good one. Not bad. Again, with that six ball though, really? Like, you could have put yourself to a better location? And that's so risky. Even if I were to try to get position on the two, to knock the two in and have the ball bump into the six just to push it up, if I do that, I might not have a shot at the three. If I'm not careful. Yeah, here, I got the angle. I can hit that six, but I don't know if I'm gonna have a shot at the three. That helps a little. Just getting it off the rail just a little bit helps. it. Be tough. Get position on the 7. Oh, are you kidding me? It hit, came back, and then still pushed itself back into the side pocket. I thought I could hit and come up to get position on the 7. Oh, that was goofy. Yeah, it's 2-2. I think. If I'm wrong, I'll find out at the end, but I think it's 2-2. We'll still satisfy. This is a much better spread, so we can try to make sure that my cue ball control is on point. You get spreads like this, there's really no excuse for not running out. Let's just watch your cue ball transition from one shot to the next, especially with a layout like this. I almost botched that and got a little behind the 6. Boy. Kind of like that. Now I'm making this run out harder than it needs to be. See what I mean? I didn't hit it hard enough going from the 3 to the 4. I got my position on the 5. I still think I could have made that 4. I just undercut it. So there's a living example of what I'm talking about. Where like if your cue ball control is not where it's supposed to be, then that's going to be the number 1 reason, or I should say number 2 reason. Number 1 reason is going to be because you're just not aiming correctly. When you're not able to run a rack. When you miss shots because you're not aiming correctly. I like the spreads that I'm getting, so I want to be able to get those spreads, make the ball, and have a shot at the 1. What? Seriously, why do I have to get flat on this ball? There we go. There we go. Now, how many of y'all on that last transition, how many of y'all would have tried to shoot it, hit the rail, and just come over here like that instead of going the route that I went? I have a feeling there might be some of y'all that would have tried that instead, that would have tried a one railer. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Ah, nuts. Hey! Alright. Take the lead. Or regain the lead. After that recovery bank shot on the 5-ball. That's a bit of an S break. Just don't like the 3-ball. Don't want to make the same mistake twice, right? Right. It's a completely different game if I always take ball in hand after the break. And I would rather not. Doesn't mean I'm still going to win though, because I'm certainly not trying to brag. But I would not have been able to transition from the 1-2 to that 3 as easy as I could have from the original starting position had I not taken ball in hand. I probably could have gotten close, but I don't think I would have gotten exactly what I ended up with. Try break. Did I do satisfy the 3-point rule? Oh man, am I gonna scratch too? Yep. I changed my tip position at the last second. I should have went with the original tip position, but I think also I missed. I wasn't aiming correctly. I don't think the tip position would have made all that big of a difference as far as me missing the shot. It would have made a difference in where the cue ball would have landed. Oh, hooked. Getting straight. Oh gosh, I cheated that so much. Am I gonna scratch? You piece of garbage. Okay, never mind. Can I see the ball though? I don't know if I can see the ball. tell if I can't tell if I can see it. I don't know if I'm going to hit the point. I think I can see it. I could. If I can undercut the ball, that means I can see it. Ah! If I was able to undercut the ball, that means I can cut it more and not hit the point. That stinks. Ooh, 5-5. Yeah, that's a really nice break. Screw it. I'm not going to take the ball in hand. Nice. On this side. Excuse me. Try to break on that one. Gross. Don't want to end up with a cluster over here. That would be terrible. Well, especially if I do that. Can I see the two? I can't see the two. I cannot believe I did that. I took that for granted. I took that for granted. I can see the two, but there's no way I'm making it. I'd end up overcutting it. At least I'm pretty sure I would overcut it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm overcutting this. Oh, maybe not! Okay. This doesn't make this any easier, though. Can't believe I did that. Alright. We gotta get a little creative here now. That's not creative enough. I don't know what that was. I think that would have been an awesome recovery. I slightly overbanked the 4-ball. Slightly overbanked the 4-ball. I thought I made it. Oh, wait, 2. Alright, let's try not to take this shot for granted this time. Oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. 8's too far out. I wouldn't have mind comboing the 8, and that way I can go from the 6 to the 7 to the 9 instead of coming down here. But I need the 8 ball to be right here. Oops. Whoa. Got away with that one. Anybody else have a hard time judging that? Like how hard you're supposed to hit it to get the cue ball to come up perfectly? That's basically what that was. Whew. Ooh, we're neck and neck. Neck and neck. I'm holding on to the lead as best I can. I think I actually should have won this maybe like, was it 1, 2, 2? Yeah, because I think there were 2 or 3 racks that I should have had, but I blew it. Going 2. That did satisfy the 3-point rule, didn't it? I made a ball, the 1 ball's down here, and I'm pretty sure the 8 ball like went in and out of the head string. I'll find out at the end. All right, I'm on the hill. I'm on the hill. And as a reminder, if you haven't done so already, please give the stream a thumbs up. It really does help me out so more people can discover my channel or my Facebook page, one or the other. That way I can entertain more people. Woo! Yeesh. Crap, I did not just do that. Crap, crap, crap. Come on, big bounce. Oh, of course you had to ruin me, right, Magic Rack? Or Action Rack? You should have took it off the table. Whew. Can't slow roll this in. Right? If I did, I'd end up somewhere over here. But if I slow roll this in, if I slow roll this in, or if I try to blast this in, I think either way, I run a high risk of missing this shot. Alright, if I would have made it. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. All because of that bad transition that I did from this ball to the 6 ball. Okay, we're not done yet, though. We're not done. Not yet. That would have been a nice dramatic ending if that 8 ball would have fell. And y'all know what that is, right? All right, hill to hill. Didn't satisfy the 3-point rule on that one. That stinks. Oh, come on. Come on. And guess what? I didn't satisfy the 3-point rule on that one either. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The ghost comes back and beats me 9-8. My last 2 breaks, I don't satisfy the 3-point rule. You've got to be kidding me. Hi, everybody. Oh, I cannot believe that. Yes, corner 4 billiards. That was the rule that I was playing by. So if I'm not going to count scratching on the break as a loss, I'm not counting dry breaking as a loss or whatever. But in the Texas State Open, since they're using the 3-point rule, for my ghost format that I'm playing, I have to satisfy the 3-point rule. Otherwise, I'm going to consider that a loss. So when you think about it, like if I break dry, then I'm basically emulating that my opponent breaks dry, and therefore I try to run out. And then, of course, if I make a ball, then I can obviously try to run out as well. But yeah, the minimum requirement was to make sure that I at least satisfy the 3-point rule at the very least. Breaking dry, scratching on the break, or whatever, none of that matters. None of that mattered. Oh, well, I mean, I did a much better performance. I did a much better performance on that one. Whew. Nate Tam, that's actually not true. I just didn't do it enough. So you're saying you're just joining back and you saw a couple of the breaks from the side. You'll bet it's because of the table size difference, and I'm getting slightly different results. I was able to produce pretty much the same kind of results you were. I just don't think I've practiced it enough. I mean, because I can get the balls to track towards that pocket. Sometimes the wing ball will go straight in. Sometimes the wing ball will get kicked in, and then the other balls actually behave rather similarly. Of course, they're not identical because of the difference in the table size, but it was pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Loping CSF, yes. I was on the hill. What was it? Like 6 to 8 or 7 to 6 to 8 or 7. No, it was 6 to 8. And then I didn't close it out. I had a bad transition to get to my 6 ball. Got all the way to the 8 ball. Had I made the 8 ball, I would have won. So that makes it 7 to 8. And then I didn't satisfy the 3-point rule on my next 2 breaks, allowing the ghost to win 9 to 8. Whew. Oh. Here we go. Aiden Derry, first of all, thank you for joining me on my Facebook stream. You're asking me, what is a great tip for improving my breaks and runouts in 8 ball, 9 ball, and 10 ball? And to know what to expect even when playing against the ghost. Well, answering your question in regards to improving your breaks in those games is a hard question to answer unless you're using a template rack. Because just like you see me here, I'm using the AccuRack, and the balls are rather predictable in knowing where they're going to exit the rack based on the way that I break. And 10 ball is pretty much the same way. When you do a 10 ball break, as long as you're using a template rack, all 10 balls are actually rather predictable on where they're going to go. 8 ball, not so much. With an 8-ball rack, I can generally predict where 5 balls are going to go, but not all 15. So it's a little difficult. Now, to answer your question though about at least how to just improve your breaks in general, that was the video that I actually planned on working on today before I decided to do a live stream. The simplest answer I'm going to give you is basically what you saw me do is through repetition. Like with me playing the Ghost, I'm always trying to make sure that I break the same exact way. I'm always trying to make sure that I strike the rack in the same exact spot with the same kind of power. And then I'm studying the results of how the rack actually spreads. And then after so many breaks over and over again, if I don't like the results, then I'm going to try to break a little bit different. I might try to hit a different part of the head ball. I might try to spin the cue ball a little bit differently. I might try different power. Like the variables that I'm in control of, I will change a variable and see if that produces a different result. Until then, I'm probably just gonna have to suggest that you're just gonna have to wait until I make the video that I plan on making, which is just a simple exercise, but of improving your breaks. But the simple exercise is primarily targeting like your lower skill level APA players, like your 2s, 3s, and your 4s, and anybody with probably like a 400 Fargo or less. Because anybody else, like they know how to break, they know how to crack the rack and stuff. They might not be able to predict the rack like I can, or like some other players can that study the racks like I do. But in the basic sense, like when you have a hard time, producing a nice spread, maybe even make a ball and stuff, I have a very simple exercise that I want to make a YouTube video about on how to improve your breaks. Now, I do want to highlight this gentleman who happens to grace his presence in my live stream, the silent assassin, Tony Robles. How's it going, buddy? I think I'm actually gonna call it quits for tonight because I'm getting kind of hungry. As much as I want to do another set, I'm getting rather hungry and I want to eat. But yeah, if anybody has watched any of my previous live streams, I had Tony Robles here in my home on this pool table teaching me some stuff about straight pool and beating the crap out of me in straight pool as well, which was really fun to watch. And then he attempted to run a sentry on my table, and those are all on my YouTube channel. You can find them. And it was such a pleasure to have him here, and I learned a lot. Tony, you actually just missed it though, because right here on this live stream I ran a 68 before I missed in front of everybody, which I'm super proud of. And then every other attempt after that was kind of horrible. But I was super proud of having the 68. I think it's the best that I've ever done on a live stream. But clearly 68 is not better than 79, so it's not the best that I've done. But he overheard my comment and says, not too many people will give you that golden advice that I just gave you on improving your breaks. Because there's no getting around. You gotta put in the reps. You gotta rack break. You just have to, there's no getting around that. There's a couple of shortcuts. There's a couple of shortcuts that you can take, but at the very end of it, you have to break balls. You have to watch how they spread. You have to see where they're going to land and see how much of it you can actually control. That's literally what it's going to boil down to in having a great break. Controlling the cue ball, making it land where it needs to land so that you can have a positional shot on most likely the 1 ball if you're playing 9 ball or 10 ball. But then otherwise having a shot if you're playing 8 ball, and you still have to have at least some idea of where the balls are going to go even on the break. Just like if you're playing a combination, when you're shooting a regular shot, you're really only concerned of 2 balls: the cue ball and the ball that you're shooting at. You want the ball that you're shooting at to go into a pocket, and you want the cue ball to land in a designated position to know that you're going to have a shot for your next shot. When you do a combination and multiple balls are in place, you have to have an idea of where all those balls in motion are going to go. The first ball that you're going to contact, the second ball that you're going to contact, which is most likely the ball that you're going to pocket. But if you're doing that in 9 ball, you still need to know where the first ball you're hitting is going to go, because you need to know if you're going to have position on that ball. Breaking to me is just no different. It's just a much bigger combination, right? So where all the balls are going to go. It's harder to predict but it is still predictable. The only exception that I will grant is if you're just not using a magic rack, because if there's gaps inside of that rack, it becomes much more difficult to predict, much more difficult. Oh, let's give a shout out. Jay Gaming, you're asking if I've seen the Looping Drill series by Corner 4 Billiards. Of course I've seen them. I watch all of his stuff. So he's my fellow Texan in the Dallas Fort Worth area and stuff. Sooner or later we're gonna get together and actually hang out, maybe produce some content together. So, and he already knows, like, I get on to him about, like, hey, when's your next video coming out? Now he started this looping drill series. You're on, Bryant, what are you on? Is this episode 6? I think you were on. Like, I mean, I could just pull up your channel and find out. I'm pretty sure it was 6, though, wasn't it? Let's have a look. Where's your channel? Here's your channel. Yeah, episode 6. You've got 6 looping drills that you're on. And then most likely next Friday will be episode 7. So you definitely have to be sure to check that stuff out. I mean, we're amateur pool players, both himself and I. We know what we know. We try to teach what we know. And if it helps you, great. That's why we're doing this stuff. Because we at least have an idea that it helps. It helps you become a little bit better, or at least helps you become better than you are. So at the very least, we can say that, you know, it helps you get a little bit better with the admiration that maybe you'll become better than us. I mean, that's what teachers generally do, right? Teachers generally teach people for them to become better than the teacher, right? That's where you get the phrase, the student becomes the teacher. But I always do my best to try to support my fellow YouTubers that produce content to help players become better as well. That's pretty much what I do. At least that's what I try to do. But then I also try to make you laugh if I can. Ooh. DH, you were the one that was talking about my acoustics, and of course that I'm working on it. Are you referring to my channel being unique, or were you referring to Corner 4 Billiards channel being unique? Mainly, I mean, I don't mind which one you're calling unique, but what I would like to know is how are we unique? What makes us unique? And I'm taking this as a compliment. What makes it unique, if you don't mind explaining? So you're talking about my channel. What makes my channel unique? I'm very interested in knowing what makes my channel unique. Robert Ellison, you want Zelda? I've closed the door. Zelda's not coming in here. Let's see. Aiden Daring, you're saying a good channel to check out on YouTube is called Home Pool TV. Let me take a look. I've never actually even heard of that channel. Home Pool TV. Oh, this gentleman. Okay, no, I have seen him. He does. I haven't really watched his stuff, but I do know he does break and runs. Like I think some of the videos that I've watched, I don't think he actually talks. I think he just does a bunch of break and runs. So I do know this channel that you're talking about. There we go. I like this. The fact that I do live streams and trying doing some in-depth analysis of the game and stuff, like, I really do appreciate that, DH. I really do. Same thing here for Best in Show. What makes my channel unique is because I'm probably one of the very few pool YouTubers that actually live streams independently. There are a bunch of other channels that do live streams as well, but they do virtual competitions. So let's not forget about those. Ooh. Tony Robles says they just installed 2 brand new Predator tables with 4 1/4 pockets at the academy that he plays out of. He's gonna go hit some balls now. So everybody have a good night. Tony, thank you so much for being here, man. We need to catch back up and chit chat for a bit. Oh, It's been such a long time, or actually, it hasn't been too long of a time, but it's been quite a while since I've gotten to see this. Best in Show, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for the $20 super chat, thanking me for all the help that I try to do. I really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. That is awesome. Let's see. You're also asking, though, is Jason Shaw's 714 posted? As far as I know, it's not. I have a DVD of it, still wrapped in the plastic and everything else. I have a piece of the cloth from the table because he basically did like this little package that you were able to purchase. But now I think that package, they don't do the DVDs anymore. I think they give away, you have to buy a thumb drive that has the run on it. I honestly haven't watched the 714. I don't know if I want to break the seal of the DVD, if that sounds weird or not, but I did watch his recent live stream attempts. I did miss out when he finally scored 500. I did miss out on that, but I did find out that the fact that he topped out at around 500, was not able to break his record, let alone score 1,000, which I think is what he was trying to do. And then look at this. Before Tony goes, he wants to also pitch in on why is my channel unique. It's because it's also the fact that I take the time to sit down, take breaks, and talk to everybody during the game, which is my interaction that I try to do. I figured, that's kind of what you're supposed to do when you do a live stream. I don't want to just be at the table and just miss what everybody says. Clearly, when I'm at the table, I can't watch. I can't read what everybody talks about. I have a television right here. I can turn on my YouTube channel, but then what am I going to be doing? Just staring up at the TV, reading the chats, or am I supposed to be playing a game, right? So I have to find this nice balance between the two of focusing at the table and, of course, focusing with everybody here, being able to interact with everybody. I think is good. Thank you so much, Tony. You need to start producing some content. When is your home table going to get set up? But get out of here and go practice, like you said. Oh my goodness, this has been so much fun. So I'm glad that I actually was able to put up a 68 on straight pool. Like I said, I think to date that is the best that I've ever done live. It's not the best that I've done period, because my current record is still 79. But I would want to say that my current best live for everybody to see is that 68. Wish I would have beaten the Ghost on this go around here. I think I had plenty of chances to beat the Ghost second time around, but my two crappy breaks at the end there allowed the Ghost to catch up and win 9-8. But rest assured, I will be live again here soon. Actually, I think I plan on going live on Monday night. I'm not needed for Monday Night League, and I have 2 matches, APA matches that I want to review for everybody, so I can at least plan on that. On top of somewhere in the middle of all this, either before I go to the Texas State Open, I'll try to get that breaking video that I was just talking about released here soon. At least if I have the time, because during the week I still have to work, and then when I get off of work, you might think software development is an easy thing to do, and I'm not going to disagree with that. Because I sit behind a desk all day, but I sit behind my desk at home all day working. But the thing is since I sit behind my desk all day working, writing code, writing software, I'm behind a computer for 8 hours. Do I really want to get behind this computer and edit a video for another 8 hours? It kind of becomes mentally exhausting when you think about it from that aspect, because that's how it goes. When I go from working as a software developer to working in making a YouTube content, I'm constantly behind a computer, and just sometimes that's just mentally taxing. Aiden Dairy, you want to know how often I stream my plays? I try to do at least once a week. Try. Big keyword, try. Sometimes I'm not able to because of just exhaustion, because of plans, still being able to hang out with family and friends and whatnot. But I try to at least do something once a week. But the thing is usually when I live stream, that takes place of making recorded content, right? So if I do a live stream, then you're probably not going to see a recorded video for quite some time. So as I mentioned before, tonight I was actually planning on making a video on how to improve your brakes. And then all of a sudden I decided to change my mind and just do this, right? And I'm actually thankful that I did this. I get to meet some new people. I got some people on Facebook, so this is cool. And then, of course, I got to perform the way that I did. I got to show this off because I really do appreciate this best in show. He says, I'm a humble guy and a great ambassador for amateur pool. I really do appreciate that. Really, really do appreciate that. Okay, well, I think that's enough blabbing on before I actually hit the 4-hour mark. I'm not entirely sure how many people are watching. Let's have a look here. It looks like I have about... Looks like everything's dropped down to where I have about 36 of y'all left on YouTube, and I'm not entirely sure how many are watching on Facebook. Maybe I think I have a handful of people on Facebook. So again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everybody for at least being here with me. Clearly, you could have been doing something probably more productive or more entertaining or whatever on a Saturday night, but you decided to choose. You decided to sit in front of your phone or sit in front of your TV or sit in front of your computer and watch me play pool and, of course, interact with me, which I'm very much thankful. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream off for tonight. And like I said, chances are I will be back most likely Monday night to review 2 of my APA 8-ball matches. So if you like what you saw here, please make sure to give this stream a thumbs up before you take off. If you're on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider giving my YouTube channel a subscribe. And then if you're on my Facebook, consider following my Facebook page as well. Have a good night, everybody.